What's up, fam? Coach Cam. We are back again with another push day. And as you watch this video, I want to discuss periodization for hypertrophy or periodization for muscle growth. So it is funny making this video because if you've been on YouTube Fitness for the last 10 years, you will have seen countless videos on this topic on how to structure your training program as far as repetitions, sets, training volume, training frequency, training intensity to get muscle growth. And it seems like in the last 2 years, all of a sudden, nobody is talking about this. And it's because it disappeared. It's because it doesn't matter. What matters is training your muscles very hard. That is the stimulus with enough weight and enough, contractile force to have mechanical tension to stimulate muscle growth. It is not about changing your training volume or changing your training frequency or your reps in reserve or the exact weight you use. There used to be, a short while ago, very prominent and supposed experts telling you to do this, telling you to start off week 1, right? You say it, you know what I'm about to say. You were here, you watched these people say this. They said, week 1, you want to do 2 sets per exercise, and you want to leave 3 reps in reserve, and maybe your total weekly sets is 10. And week 2, you want to do 3 sets per exercise, and your weekly total volume is 15 sets, and you want to leave only 2 reps in reserve. Week 3, you're leaving 1 rep in reserve, and you're doing 4 sets or something, 3 or 4 sets. And then the final week, you're doing 4 to 5 sets of everything, and you're leaving 0 reps in reserve. And then you take a deload. Remember that? Remember that advice coming from supposed experts that read all the research and were giving you the best advice ever? Well, how come in 2 years that advice completely evaporated off the internet? Nobody is advocating that you do that. Nobody is saying you need to increase your training volume week by week by week. Everyone back then was like, oh, you got to do sets times reps times weight, and that's your volume, and that has to go up, and blah, blah, blah. Bro, were they wrong? Let's just take a minute and realize they were wrong. All those people parroting that advice. Thankfully, I never parroted that advice. I never parroted you needed to start with training sets of 8, and then next week do sets of 10, and next week do sets of 12, and then come back down to 8 and add weight. Like, what do they call that? Linear periodization? There were so many different types of periodization, and it was all the rage from at least 2010 to like 2021, 2020, somewhere in there. And then after that, it's slowly become, oh, wait, train the muscle as hard as possible. That is the stimulus. If you have to pick a lighter weight to do that, then do it. If you have to pick a heavier weight, then do it. I like to train most of my exercises between 5 and 10 to 12 at the top end reps. Not saying I'll never go over that, because I will. I think even in this video, lateral raises, this is a 25-pound dumbbell, and I went over 10 or 12. I started doing some partials there at the end too. It's just funny, bro. We have to look back and laugh that these people were saying this was the best advice. And they were saying, buy my program, download my app, and I'll get you jacked. Listen to me, I'm the expert. When that was never sound advice. That was never what anybody in the past to get good results had ever done. You never had to think that hard about your training. But what these experts did from that time period, about 2015 to 2020, was they got all these young people hooked on overthinking their training. Overthinking. Oh no, how many reps am I doing? Oh no, how many sets? How many sets do you do in a week? How many sets should I do in a week? How often should I train? What's the frequency? What's the best frequency? And they're focusing on all these little stupid variables and not training hard enough. You and I know tons of people that fall into this camp. They go to the gym 6 days a week. It's push-pull legs. It's whatever split they've been doing. They like it. And they're not making progress because they're doing a ton of volume because some guru said that's what you had to do, or some jacked guy on steroids told him that's what you have to do, or some guy with good genetics who would have got good genetics if he would have had good results, whether he trained 6 days a week or 2 days a week, but he told you to train 6. He told you to do more volume. And it was hilarious, bro, because every trainer, still to this day, you have plenty of people in the fitness space that are lost in that cycle. They're lost in the cycle of, what do I do next? And do I add a set? Do I subtract a set? Do I need to lift heavier? Maybe I need to hit this muscle 3 times a week. Really? 3 times a week? How about you make progress? How about you hit it hard once or twice, but then you make progress when you show up to the gym? That is the goal. Training as hard as you can, making progress over time. Don't listen to all these other people focusing on these stupid details. There is no, what number of sets should you do? There is no number. There is no number. So there's no way anyone can answer that. It depends on what your volume is right now. If you're doing like 3 sets a week, is it working? And if it's not, are you training those 3 sets with an all-out effort? Because if you're not doing that, I don't care if you're doing 3 sets or 50 sets. If they're not hard enough, you're not going to get the best results. You know that. I know that. We all know this. So train the sets harder and do less of them if you have to. I know for me, about 3 years ago, I went from doing 3 sets on all my exercises. I slowly dwindled back to 2 sets because I was just too tired. I was at the gym realizing like, I'm tired. Why would I do a third one? Like, I couldn't justify it. So I cut back to 2. And then for these last 2 years, I've been doing 1 set per exercise. And lately, I've upped my frequency a bit. I've upped my volume a little bit, doing a few more exercises, a few drop sets here or there. Ooh, spooky drop set. Whoa, those are never ever needed. Well, they're not, but you can do them. See, what's happening is people that train and do what I'm saying, maybe they do some partials here and there. Maybe they do some drop sets here or there. Those people don't film their workouts. They're not on social media. They just do it in the moment, right? It's that one exercise, that one moment. They're like, yeah, I'm going to hit it like this right now. So no one's around to critique them. No one's around to comment and be like, oh, how could you do that? That's not scientific. You should have left 2 reps in reserve. No one's there to say that. They're doing it on their own. They're training hard and they're grinding and they're not putting it out there for anyone to see. So those people can do whatever they want because no one's there to critique them or criticize them. So that's why you'll see me branching out here with calves. I'm doing 55-pound dumbbell single leg calf raises, kind of just up to parallel for, 7-8 reps, somewhere in there. And then I drop set and do just body weight single leg calf raise. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the only set of calves I'm going to do for the next 5 days. And then I'll do it again and I'll push for progress, training as hard as I can. So really, you have to Log what you're doing. You have to track your training and make small changes over time. It's a journey. No one can write that for you. No one can come up with that. If you're hiring a coach to figure out your training, they're just going to figure it out like you are. They're just going to make minor changes over time to get you the best possible results. So all in all, what I want you to take from this video is that periodization for hypertrophy is dead. And for good reason. Muscles don't care if you're periodizing your training. All they know is in that moment, in that session, were they maximally stimulated by you training as hard as you possibly can to where you can no longer hold the weight up. You have to lower it. You have to stop the exercise. That's how to train with the most intensity and get the most results. From there, you need to recover and progress over time. Period. End of story. Thank you. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.